Welcome back once again. This is Seewing Yi, and before I'm going to go over the April housing update with National Association of Realtor (NAR) and go over the April update with a lot of good positive news, but I'm going to give you a slight negative news. Well, no big deal, and I'm going to open up the Mortgage News Daily, the daily mortgage rates update. And unfortunately, today's date, which is what, 19th of May at the recording Friday, at the recording of this video, the Mortgage Daily News indicated that the 30-year fixed rate for people with exceptional credit are 6.82%, and people with the VA loan scenario slightly better, 6.44%, and the FHA loan rate is 6.45%. So yeah, 6.82% is pretty much put a slight damper to the housing mortgage market, that is, at least on a very temporary basis. And so mortgage rate now is at a 2 months high. That's what we're facing. We are continue to face with mortgage and rate volatility for the foreseeable future. However, some housing experts claim that by the end of this year and beginning of 2024, the mortgage rate should go below 6%. So we'll see. No one have a crystal ball, but based on data and trends and analysis, mortgage rate should not reach 7%. Hopefully not. I feel positively there's a lot of good sign. So I wouldn't panic if I were you. And if people still can qualify with this elevated rate of 6.82%, and we still a lot of eligible and qualified buyers out there. So by no means this elevated mortgage rate gonna put a significant damper to the motivation for people who qualify to buy right now, whether you're a primary home buyer or whether you are a real estate investor who are trying to buy cash flow properties like our investors within my network. But today I'm going to discuss the today's very important updated news from National Association of Realtors. So without further ado, let's go over the headline. Now the headline is, again, you have to take it with a grain of salt. What I mean by that, this headline may not sound real positive. So the headline says existing home sales faded 3.4% in April. NAR, they had to put some kind of headline, some kind of a clickbait type of headline to invite more viewers. I get it. Everything's clickbait these days, from YouTube channel or any national news media. That's how they get advertising and everything else. So with that said, if you read it, if I dive deeper into this article, into this headline, so I'm pretty certain that you're going to see some very positive news. Home sales faded 3.4%. This means there's not many homes out there for sale. That's what it means. There are less homes for sale. There are less transactions. By no means does it correlate to home prices decreasing. You know what I mean? So in the past year, whether you've been watching my video or any other housing videos, including the crash videos that are so abundant out there, the crash bros, the crash brothers, they are misleading no matter what. But anyway, so you cannot correlate with reduction in home sales with reduction in home prices. They have no correlation most of the time. It really have a counterintuitive effect. Anyway, so if you've been watching my videos, you're pretty certain that it's all about economics 101. When there are pent-up demand and there are lack of supply of homes, it will put upward pressure on home prices. And that's what we've been seeing ever since year to date this year, 2023, from January until middle of April right now. We're seeing home prices nationwide going up 6, 7, 8%, depending on the local market. Once again, real estate is local. There's no such thing as national real estate market. There are more than 1,000 counties. Located in the US, there are more than several thousand cities. Each unique location, each local market have their own unique economic and housing characteristics. So wherever you live in as a primary home owner or primary home buyer, whatever specific location you live in, or as a real estate investor, whatever specific local market you are targeting to buy rental properties, you have to focus on a specific market, you have to focus on a specific neighborhood, even you have to focus on a specific house within that small radius of that neighborhood. So real estate is extremely hyper local. All right. So I had to remind you guys of such. Yes, I'm producing data, whether through NAR or through Redfin or through any other of this very popular website as I give you these housing updates. I'm just providing you with national data. Okay. It's just, I have to do what I have to do. But again, like I said before, each local market has very unique metrics and characteristics, and you base your decision based on the area you want to buy. So I have to bring home to that point. All right, let's go over the key highlight of this article about NAR. So existing home sales receded 3.4%. That means not enough homes to buy in April to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 4.28 million. Sales fell 23.2% from a year ago. That is a clear indication that many home sellers are reluctant to sell their homes because they are locked in at a historically low rate of around 3%, and they are not going to upgrade to move up to buy a new home, which they have to get a mortgage of 6.82% at least, thereby potentially doubling their mortgage payment. No, they're going to sit tight and ride out this temporary economic and housing storm, if you will. All right, let's go further. The median existing home sales price slipped to a whopping 1.7%, less than 2% from a year ago. So again, there's no need to panic. The sky is not falling. There's no doom and gloom. Do not think short term. Do not think for the moment. I know for the moment we are very emotional. We're impacted by all this negativity in the moment. But you have to take a step back, breathe in, breathe out. Think about the movie Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi. Breathe in, breathe out. Mr. Miyagi, Karate Kid. Is it? Anyway, I'm older than a lot of you guys. I'm a baby boomer. What are you? Are you guys listening on this video? Are you a millennial? Or you're Gen X? Or you're a baby boomer? By the way, please comment below, right? Each time I produce a video, comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of my video, improvements or additions, or criticism. I'll be more than happy to answer your comments as long as your comments are reasonable or not over the top. And also, let me know what's your situation. Are you trying to buy a primary home in your specific market? Or are you trying to become a real estate investor, try to buy cash flow properties in a good location? So let me know. All right. And also subscribe to my channel. But at the end of my video, I will share with you what's the next step. You want to log into my investment newsletter, please do so and put the email on there. So I'll discuss that toward the end of the video. All right, so let's get back to the article in question. All right. So total existing home sales, like I said, completed transactions that included single family homes, townhomes, condos, or whatever, or slid 3.4% from March to a seasonally adjusted rate of 4.28 million in April. And year over year, sales has slumped to 23%, as I mentioned. However, the NAR chief economist Lawrence Young, he says home sales are bouncing back and forth, but remain above recent cyclical lows. He also said the combination of job gains, limited inventory, and fluctuating mortgage rates over the last several months have created an environment of push-pull housing market. Think about this for a moment. Job gains. In fact, the job market is critical to determine the stress of this economy. If there are a lot of jobs, people have jobs, people have income, they can support their mortgage payment. right? And we are at a 40-year low of unemployment rates. There are more jobs available out there than are available openings. So people have a lot of discretion, a lot of opportunities. Even if they lose their job, they can easily find another one. That's been what's going on. Even in the high tech sector, which is consists of 5% of the labor force, where I live in San Francisco Bay Area for the past 30 years, and that's what I see. Yes, we see a lot of negativity around the high tech sector, a lot of job losses and whatever. But I talked to a lot of my colleagues here in the Bay Area in California, and a lot of those people they'll easily or employed by another company because when those high tech people they're armed with a high academic credentials, which are computer and engineering skills, their skill set are easily transferable to another company quite easily. So it's not the high tech industry, the Silicon Valley, if you will, are really not as bad as the national headlines paint them to be. So you have to understand negative news sells. And when you watch the YouTube videos, when you watch any national headlines, you will see very negative news, doom and gloom news, big headlines. So you have to take a step back and peel beyond the layer. You have to dive deep into, go beyond the headlines, look at the actual data because the actual data are irrefutable. They are conclusive. They are verifiable. They are logical data that people need to do away from their emotional mindset and look at the real data. So the real data is we have massive shortage of uh, home supply of inventory, almost at a historical low, and our demand is pretty elevated, even with a mortgage rate of 6.82%. Yes, we are at the 40-year affordability uh, index, which is a lot of people are unable to qualify to buy a home, so they are staying in the rental pool, if you will. So a lot of renters out there that are being priced out because of the higher mortgage rate and the continual prices of home keep going up as we speak, at least a month to date this year. People that continue to wait in the sidelines, I don't know. Uh, I could understand when on one hand, you no longer qualify to get a loan. On the other hand, for those who qualify to buy a home, you should buy it. By the way, I'm not a realtor. I have no skin in the game. I'm a real estate advisor, real estate investment advisor. I advise my turnkey mom and top real estate investors, mainly from California, to buy out of state investment properties. They can cash flow at 25% down in the affordable entry level markets, mainly in Midwest and Southeast. Okay, so enough of a little bit of self promotion. Let's get back to this article. Let me see what else. Yep, healthy job market, limited supply of inventory. Still, I believe, you know what? I believe as long as the mortgage rate stays below at 7%, we will continue to have pent up demand. And the demand still, the number of people that are willing to buy the home, even at this current mortgage rate of environment, will still continue to exceed the extremely limited historical low supply of inventory. All right, so hopefully I'm clear on that. So let's get back to this article. Again, Mr. Jung further stated roughly half of the country is experiencing price kings. This comment is very critical. Half of the country are still, home prices are still rising. They don't talk about that much. The areas that I'm promoting investment properties for my investors, for my members, are in Midwest, in Florida, in Texas, and a few other places in Alabama. There are investors doing well. Prices are still rising. The, the homes are very low to match the rent that we're charging. So we're getting cash flow easily, even with a higher mortgage rate. But the homes investors are buying through my network are only like 100,000, 200,000, $300,000. Even if the mortgage rate is 6.5%, 7%, on those investment loans, the mortgage payment is very low. Besides, the renter are paying off the mortgage anyway and still have enough money for positive cash flow monthly at 25% down payment. So now I'll peel a little bit into the investment real estate market. Some of you may be motivated to take your finances to the next level above and beyond buying primary home. If you're ready to buy investment properties and don't know where to start, just log into my website with your email newsletter and you'll get some free information on a weekly basis so you can get more education and get informed of how to become a real estate investor. All right, so let me see what else. First-time home buyers. Okay, never mind. Roughly half of the country is experiencing gains, like I just mentioned, even in a market with lower prices, primarily the expensive West region, or getting multiple offer situations have returned in a spring buying season. Following calmer winter market, distress and forced property sales are virtually non-existent. If you're looking for foreclosures, it ain't gonna happen. You're not gonna find them anywhere. We are at a historical low rate of foreclosures because most homeowners have equity of their homes based on this real estate pandemic boom that occurred in 2021. All right, that's what's happening. Now, let's say what else. So then first-time home buyers are responsible for 49% of sales in April, up from 28% in both March and April of 2022. So 1/3 of home buyers nationally are first-time home buyers. Still, the percentage is not as high as it should be from a historical basis, but 1/3 of home buyers are first-time home buyers. So that means we're making a little bit of progress. And so all cash buyers accounted for 28% of transactions in April, up from 27 and 26% the previous year. So therefore, almost 1/3 of all the homes that are being sold in the recent past are all cash buyers. What does it mean? People have booked loads of money and they want to dump their money into the real estate market because they feel real estate or asset is a very good long-term investment, and I couldn't agree more. All right, hard assets, real estate, have outperformed all other asset classes on a historical basis, despite the so-called housing correction that has occurred in the latter part of 2022 based on the elevated mortgage rate. All right, that's how it goes. Long-term wise, real estate has always done well, have always increased in value as long as you keep that house or investment property for at least 5, 7 to 10 years or more, and those houses will appreciate long term. Okay, hopefully I made that very clear. Out of those 28% of all cash buyers, investors or second home buyers make up many of those cash sales. In fact, they purchased 17% of the homes in April, which is similar to last month and similar to a year ago. So therefore, out of the 28% of all cash transactions, 17% are for investment and second home purposes. So now you know the data. And so regional breakdown, I'm not going to go too much further. Of course, the Western region has, at least for the past 2 quarters, the second half of 2022, we have seen some price drops, obviously, because of the volatility of those regions. However, people does not pay attention. The national news media does not talk about the boring markets such as in the Midwest and South and Southeast, where the home prices has maintained pretty well. And that's how it is, right? You have to understand what's going on. You just cannot always go by the trophy markets, the up and down volatility. It makes great news, and the news media always want to provide some exciting news. That aspect of the news are only part of the market. It's only mainly in the Western region, like in California, Seattle, Las Vegas, Phoenix, the typical pandemic boom in Austin, Texas, the pandemic boom and bust market. But having said that, the media does not tell you that even at those markets in the Western region that has decreased in home prices, they are creeping up. Their prices are creeping up the past 4 months. They are recovering from those housing price reductions during the second half of the last year. So they don't talk about that much, but I have data to show you. In fact, I made other videos that shows virtually all the markets in the country year to date, month to date, 2023. The value of homes have increased, especially the lower end price point, the below the median price homes in every market, increasing value due to pent-up demand and lack of inventory. So the theme remains the same until further notice. So my takeaway for this video is that homeowners are locked in with they're not willing to give up their amazing, historically once in a lifetime, 3% or less, 30-year fixed rate mortgage. They're going to sit tight for the foreseeable future. And a lot of those homeowners, they're not going to sell their homes and give up their low rates unless the mortgage rate have reached maybe the mid 5% or even lower to entice them to give up their 30-year mortgage and sell their homes so they can move up to buy another home with a reasonable mortgage rate for themselves. Does that make sense? So that's what's happening. That's what's happening. We're seeing multiple offers. We're seeing bidding wars. Is it similar to 2021? Of course not. We're seeing 3 to 5 offers per house, give or take, and the final asking price is 5 to 10% above final asking price. So remains to be seen in the future as we move toward the late this year. What are the mortgage rates? What are the situation? What are the inflation factors? Yeah, I know it's a confusing market, and yet you shouldn't be paralyzed with this short-term situations. If you have a long-term goal, whether you're a primary home buyer, whether you're an investor, if you have a long-term goal, invest for the long term, okay? And just stay the course, have a long-term perspective, you're going to do very well. That's my takeaway. Again, if you see value from this presentation, please smash the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I need more subscribers so people can watch my occasional videos. My videos are not clickbait. I'm not going to provide misleading and inaccurate information for the purpose of getting subscribers. I'm not a crash road type of video. I have ethics and morals that a lot of people do not have. And so I'm just going to give you some great content, great economic data so you can logically and rationally make an informed real estate purchase decisions, whether you're buying your primary home or whether you want to invest in real estate, right? And also subscribe below on my website, put your email on my website so you receive to become a free member of my real estate organization, our real estate investment club, if you will. By putting an email into my subscriber list, you will receive weekly newsletter updates about all aspects of investment real estate, whether by properties. We help out-of-state investors to buy turnkey properties in very affordable entry-level markets. You can cash flow with 25% down. Great markets, great key and professional property management. So you can usually buy cash flow properties in great markets such as in Florida, in Texas, in Alabama, and Buffalo, New York, and a few other places. All right, thank you so much. This is Seewing. Thanks for listening. I will see you on the next video soon. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.